think we're live.
Yep, we should be.
Couple people dropping in. Welcome everyone. Alfredo here. This is the weekly stream. Got some feedback going on. I've got too many windows open. I was playing it to myself at the same time. Where are we?
We have a few people joining.
Hi guys, welcome. Wait a couple more seconds, try and get a couple more people in, and then we'll start. How's your week been, automation-wise, Brad?
It's been pretty good overall. We some ups and downs with a few things, and I've been doing a few optimizations of stuff. So I had a few things turned off while I kind of just worked on some longer backtest settings, which I know we've talked about on some streams. So I had a couple of things running, a few things up, a few things down, and then which we'll get into more later. But the year-long backtest Kairos bands and stuff that we released a few weeks ago, ran a little bit of those, but those don't trade super often. But some of those ended up for the week, but it ends up being a couple trades for the week, so they're just kind of slow. But that was kind of the point of those, is to be slow, but hopefully be a little bit more steady. So,
anything that you're going to share on the forums? I haven't actually looked at an optimized version of Kairos bands yet.
Yeah, those are out there. It's in the marketplace strategies. I guess it's probably been about 2 weeks ago now. For bands, put a NQ and ES chart where the left side has electronic trading hours for those that want to trade 22 hours a day. The right side has regular trading hours for those who just want to do New York session for various reasons, right? If you have a prop firm that doesn't like automation, or if somebody just prefers to at least be around when automation's running so they can keep an eye on it. So you kind of have both of those.
The control
options.
freaks like me.
Yeah.
Can't have automation going unless I can reach a flattened button.
Yeah.
Welcome, Lee. How's it going, buddy?
Good evening, fellas. How are you?
Very, very well. Very, very well.
Hey, Brad. How's it going?
Well, pretty good. Can't complain.
You guys have a good week?
Yeah, we're green on the week. We've had some good automation. Been struggling a little bit on the manual. I'm not going to lie. I've been really, really naughty with my discipline this week. But let's not talk about the losses. Let's talk about the wins.
Yes, that's the way to stay positive. I took two short. Actually, I took 3 short trades at open. Just after open. That one was small green, one was break even, and one was slightly red. And I'm like, I'm just feeling this is just not the right day for trying to be a mean reversion trader.
It felt like it today, didn't it? It was just one big, and that was it. Yeah.
But then I got a short from, I think, 85 on the NASDAQ. I don't know what time it was, maybe 10:30, 11 or something. And I got almost 100 points out of it. I got like 90 points out of it. And I'm like, that's it. No more trading today.
Lock yourself out of all of the accounts and go have a beer.
Usually, if I can't get a good green trade in 3 attempts, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's not my day. But I saw it set up, and I was like, okay, the market tempted me, and it could have blown up in my face, but it worked out. So, but overall, the automation stuff this week, there was 2. I think Wednesday and Thursday were killer days. Today was some red, some green. Monday and Tuesday were flat-ish, but the 2 good days really paid the bills this week.
100%. I had a great time on Vector this week. Great time. There was some
MCL
real
killed it.
I learned this week the hard way though, to trade back to my old rules that I'll go into a little bit later, about when to run, how to run, and when not to run. But I had a great rule book that I've completely abandoned, and I'm picking back up again as of next week, because I would have had to look at some of the executions and some of the losses that I sustained, and had I have turned off, for example, during FOMC, it would have been a lot better. Oh, I mean, so I was just wanted to go through a little roundup of what's been going on this week. It's been a lot of tech earnings this week. Obviously, the FOMC decision, Powell refusing to move from his office, which I quite enjoyed reading, and Trump going off about that. But there's been a lot of geopolitical and macro crap going on this week, what with the Middle Eastern conflict and oil and inflation and stuff like that. But we've had a lot of resilience in a lot of the major indices, and like mixed earnings reactions, but a lot of pressure on gold. Gold has been taking a beating. It's been fun.
Yeah. I felt I don't know about you guys, and this is good for automation, but I felt especially the middle of the week, Wednesday and Thursday, not so much today, but price action started to feel normal again.
It did. It really did. We saw that last week, and we were talking about this, Lee, at some length, that it's crazy when you're using the mean reversion, and I've been doing it for a while now. You guys have taught me some really cool stuff since I've been working with you guys, but I haven't been able to trust a trend for such a long time. And when we start seeing these big trend days, I don't know what to do with it at the moment. It's taken me a little while to readjust to become a normal trader.
You're like a chicken that's been locked out of its coop.
Exactly. I'm so used to just bumping between resistance levels and pivots, and having those horrible 3 hours after the bell of just bouncing 80 points up and down, that I've just grown accustomed to it, that when I start seeing these 300-point candles, I'm like, what on earth is going on?
Speaking of pivots, sorry, go ahead, Brad.
I was going to say, which is kind of funny. I'll show it later, but I think I talked about this on a previous stream, an old strategy that I built a couple of years ago, that just based on certain times of the day and finding out the optimal number of ticks for take profit and stop loss, that oddly enough, something that simple has been the best performing strategy that I've had. In the last 3-ish weeks on one micro, it's up $4,400. And so, but when you have these trending markets where it just keeps, or it just keeps going up like this, I mean, you get a strategy like that that's built to, and that goes back to kind of Alfred, what you're talking about when you turn things on. And I think Dan and Lee, you've also mentioned it, is knowing which ones work well in certain markets. And you turn on the ones that like, hey, we've been in trending markets, then I'm going to use this one because it works well. And then when you get in those that kind of bounce around, then that mean reversion type strategy will probably work a little bit better for you.
Yeah.
Unless we finally get that interest rate decision that's been threatening for quite a while, and then it's going to dance like you've got hot coals under your feet for about 3 days. I'm not looking forward to that day. It's going to be a horrible day, but it is what it is.
Speaking of pivots, now in the ClearEdge marketplace as of today is Mr. Smooth's pivots, and it's free to all ClearEdge subscribers. If you've
made it free.
Yeah, but if for people that aren't subscribers to our software, they can still go into the marketplace, and it's $10 a month. $10 a month. So,
guys, it's one of the best additions to my manual charts for a long while. It's eradicated a load of fluff, or whatever you want to call it. If
I can figure out how to automate those levels, I would. But there's so much discretion over it, and watching price action. It's not, you can't always just put put a resting order on those levels. You know,
It would be tough. It would be tough because of the bounce, and then that almighty breach. That's the one that I'm looking for half the time, either the bounce or the heavy breach. But it's changed. It's changed everything. I thoroughly recommend everyone, if you do have a ClearEdge subscription, to get out and download that bad boy, because it works. It works. If you do want any more, if you want any help or advice on how to run it, or when to run it, or what to combine it with, give us a shout and we can point you in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do a stream next week, like a live webinar on it. And
cool.
That's something that we're going to start doing in ClearEdge too. We're going to introduce some more manual tools that, whether you're manually trading or, you know, you want to learn a little manual trading, you know, whilst the automations are doing their thing, it can't hurt.
I'll be all over that like a fat kid on cake, Smooth.
Yeah.
Like a fat kid on cake.
Yeah, I saw your announcement on it earlier. But forgot to add it. So I just went and got it from the marketplace, putting it on a chart to take a look at it.
Yeah, so I run it. I keep the daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly pivots on my charts at all times.
You go as far as quarterly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't make sure you uncheck the show historical, because there's so much data there that it'll screw your charts up, and it won't load properly. But I keep all of those levels on and make sure it's on standard pivots. And then I'm looking for areas of confluence where there's maybe a daily and a weekly for those really, high confluence type trades. But if you pull it up on a ES chart or a NASDAQ chart today, you'll see. I mean, you can see every morning when I get on with some of the guys that I trade with manually in another room. I mean, I draw my arrows where I'm looking for the boundaries of the markets to be, and 9 times out of 10, it's pretty damn accurate.
It is bloody accurate. It is. I did start making a chart ready to show everyone today, but it's got a load of other stuff on that I don't want to share right now. But it's if we are doing a webinar on it, I don't want to spoil things. I don't want to spoil things from the secret sauce.
I don't know. I'll have Silent J. What does that say? Silent J. I can't remember. My eyesight's terrible, and I'm not wearing my glasses. But
they're on your face. Smooth, they're on your face.
No, that's my sunglasses, and they're not prescription.
He doesn't have on his old man glasses.
No.
I know what to buy you for Christmas. Some of those, what are the connectors?
Yeah. I usually have them with me, but
a nice paisley connector.
I don't know. I'll have to ask the guys just to see if it should. I don't know if we've changed that yet for subscribers, but it shouldn't charge you. But we'll get that sorted out. And and like I said, I'm gonna do whether on Discord or YouTube at some point next week, I will do a webinar and Q&A so people can take a look at it and see how I trade it and ask me questions and send me Cash App money.
Yeah. So I think you should make a really nice chart and then just charge double for it. It is actually that good. I can't believe you put it out there for free. I think I would have charged lots of money for that one.
Yeah, well, we're all about spreading the love.
You got to be careful, you might catch something. But all right, so I figured I'd go through some of the algos that I'm running at the moment, guys. You all right if I share?
Yeah,
sounds good.
Let's have a look. See, where are we? Can you see my screen?
Yep.
So this is one I've been playing around with for a while now. I love Secret Labs. This is one of Nara's creations, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I'm running this just on the MNQ. I believe it's optimized for the minis, but I'm liking the executions at the moment. I can't believe it. I was actually using before I learned how good ClearEdge is and how quick the automation is. I was using one of the competitors in the market. I won't name them. Still every now and again, but using this primarily now. And I couldn't believe how quickly these things execute, and how close it is to the actual trades on TradingView. You know, yes, there is a little bit of slippage, there is a little bit of delay, but guys, it just works. It just chips away. If you've got some of those prop accounts like I use, I love a small account, easy to pass, you know, easy to fail as well, but easy to pass if you know what you're doing, or if you've got a decent enough chip away algorithm like this. And I'll just leave this on a couple PAs and just come and look at it in a week or two's time and see what happens. I've been averaging between 50 and $100 on 2 micros on this a day, you know, so it's been going well. What else we got? So can we talk about Cypher?
Yeah, I've been playing with that this week. That seems to have been doing really good.
I've been playing with this the last couple of days. I didn't realize I was heartbroken. I had access to this for a while, and I didn't even know until I opened the chart the other day. But lo and behold, I had this fabulous little tool at my disposal and wasn't using it. But it's been set up all day, and it's been fun. It's been real fun. Got this set up on the NQ. This is the chart that you sent out earlier, Brad. Was it not this one? The best copy Cypher NQ 3 min.
Yeah, that yeah, one of us sent that out. I can't remember if it was David or myself, but yeah.
Whoever sent it out, I love your face because it's brilliant. This one's coming out soon. Brad, we were talking about this a moment ago. Obviously, your partner in crime is sunning it up in as a Greek god in Greece at the moment. So
yeah,
we're expecting this one to be released shortly once he's back and can share with us his wonderful holiday stories.
Yeah, we've had. I know David's been running Cypher for a couple of several weeks now, and we made a few tweaks on it over the past week, just lining up some projections and stuff. And he had optimized and actually if you'll change your back test, do it to 3 years or do it to entire history.
Ooh, you're gonna make my
And
computer
because that
explode.
was do entire history. I think it ends up being 9 years on NQ. But you can see it just stays consistent the whole time, right? And that's what, and I know even Kevin or Elevated for Market Ninja, he's kind of focusing on the same things as we're trying to look for longer back tests that should hold up and require that that chart doesn't look updated necessarily, but because that chart doesn't match the numbers on there at all, really. But they let's see, 3 minute. I'll have to look on mine and see. But basically we're looking for some of these longer back tests to have a little bit more consistency where, like on bands, for instance, if we're releasing the 1 minute settings, you almost have to re-optimize those every week just because the market changes.
Yeah.
Or a small change in the market can cause a big fluctuation in the results of those. And then also with Cypher, the way we've done that, even though it has a lot of the same confluences in it as like bands and MA, we're not changing the all those, like what's the RSI linked, what's overbought, what's oversold. We're not changing those all around in the optimization, so it's just kind of more stable. So that way you should just say, hey, for a general setting of like, maybe roughly around 70 is overbought and 30 is oversold kind of range, instead of you finding some specific number. Oh, it's like 53 for overbought, right? That can lead to overfitting. So we're trying to leave them more general and then just find some longer testing that will, again, admittedly, you could probably go optimize it and make more money in 1 month, but then you're going to have to re-optimize it, or if not, then you lost that same money the next month. So the goal is to just have them more steady, so that way it just holds up longer, and it's just kind of proven itself over time is really the point of it.
Especially when at the markets, I suppose, because it's not the same market that we're trading every bloody day at the moment. It's like a different instrument sometimes.
Brad, for marketing purposes, you should have said that this script was handed to David by Zeus himself on Mount Olympus.
Maybe we'll change the name to it to some kind of Greek god or something, and say
Yeah.
that, yeah, that's how he had an epiphany when he was in Greece, and
The oracles of Mount Olympus.
I like that. I like that. But
From,
I think
from,
a
from Mount
couple of the
Olympus to
Greek
the
god
Clearance Marketplace.
a couple of the Greek god names are taken, I think, but we can think of some other. What was the guy that the god of war? What was his name?
Thor? No,
No, Greek.
I don't know. Oh, that
yeah,
was
I don't know the
Norse.
names.
That
I'll
one
have
with
to
the
Google that one.
that one with the arms and legs. You know the one I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right?
I know Zeus and
That other guy with the arm and legs.
Poseidon.
Ares, or
That's the
Ares,
one.
yeah.
Ares is a cool
Ares.
name. I like that.
Okay.
Sounds manly and stuff. All right, so moving on. Really excited about Cypher though. Really excited. I'm looking forward to that getting out, and I'm really excited to start trying to get people to have a look at optimizing their own settings as well, and try and
Yeah.
find some secret source of their own. It's really important when releasing, especially when releasing a new algorithm, that everyone tests and has a look at this thing for themselves, because yes, these algo creators, Brad and David and so on and so forth, all of the guys, Kev, they are brilliant at what they do, but there are an infinite possibility of different variations that you can run from these things. So there's no saying that someone else can't find something that's really, really working well as well. So please do get out and start testing and having a look for any other settings you can muster.
Yeah, to that point, real quick, since you bring that up, I don't know how you say his name, John A, maybe, in the ClearEdge Discord. He posted profits yesterday. One of his accounts
was
had
insane.
$15,000 of profit, and these are ones he said he was using. I guess he's mainly using Kairos MA, but they're settings that he found himself. Right? It's not the presets. It's not
good for him.
that we've
Good
put
for
out.
him.
Yeah,
one of his
just to the
accounts was up
point-
like 15 grand in a day.
In a
Yeah,
day.
he had one up 15 grand, another one up 6 grand.
He's definitely on that Baron Trump Discord, isn't he? That's where he is. Someone knew that there was going to be another announcement on CL. All right, so what else we got? So we got one more for the Kiros crew. We had the VWAP. This one I think you guys have talked about quite a lot, so I only branch on this. I've been running this for a little while now, and it just works. It's another one that just works. Low drawdown, relatively good P&L. Looking forward to this one coming back. Have we lost Lee again? Nope.
No, I'm here.
I was just
I had to turn my camera off for a second.
Right. He's just about to order at the restaurant he's in. That's why.
No, I'm about to go skinny dipping.
Turn it back on then, Christ boy. So yeah, VWAP I think is you mentioned earlier you're gonna think about releasing this bad boy up upon the community quite soon as well, are you not?
Yeah, we so we had it kind of, I think, basically ready. We made some few tweaks just visually, just cleaning things up, where things were organized in the input screen right before David left. And we didn't release it just in case people had questions, needed support, because he's not really online much. But I'll chat with him over this weekend some and see if we want to go ahead and release it, because he should be back. I don't know exactly when, but beginning of next week. But you can, if you look at that trade that's on there today, and you can see basically what this one is doing, at least on this optimization. I can't tell if that's the same trade I have on my screen or not.
This is the one that Dave shared with me before. This one was a loss, but
let me share my screen real quick, because we may have a different optimization.
I think we might.
Because I'll show you. Let me see. Share. Okay, you should be able to see my trading view now.
Hang on 1 second. Let me add the scene. There you go. You're in.
But if you see right here, basically what this one is doing is it was what was that? A 30 point stop loss.
Stop. Yeah.
But then it was 160 point take profit.
So basically, I need this version. Then that's what you're saying.
Yeah, I can send you this one. But it basically ends up being some really big risk to reward. And one thing we wanted to do is to try and get a few more. This was for NQ, but we wanted to try and get a few more optimized charts. Like
Right.
get one maybe for ES and stuff, just so there's a couple of options. But
Mhm.
you see a lot of these right here. I mean, even the same way here, 182 to 1, about a
Oh,
30 point,
that was
30
close, that
point.
one. That almost wicked out on that one. Look at that.
Yeah, that one got closed and it
Yeah.
just wicked out on the profit target. But that's the
Love that.
way with the settings that are on here, you end up with these big. So you might have a low win rate and it doesn't take a lot of trades, but when you do get a win, it's a pretty massive win. And I don't know, again, you can see all this time where there's several losses in a row, but they're normally smaller losses. And then you get, these big wins right here that is, about
I mean,
another 30
you just
points.
hit the nail on the head there, Brad. Sorry to interrupt. You hit the nail on the
No,
head.
you're fine.
A lot of people will go and look at these algorithms and check out and go, wait a second, the profitable trades are only 30, 40 something
Yeah.
percent, 50%. That means nothing. It
Yeah.
means nothing. So the correlation you will normally find is the higher profitability of the trades is the greater the drawdown. The greater the
Yeah.
drawdown on the
And
actual.
correct.
Sorry.
So when you do lose one, if you have a 95% win rate, when you do lose a trade, you're wiping out a week's worth of gains
Yeah.
because
Or the
you're
whole
the only,
account.
or the whole account. But I mean, essentially, I can basically make any strategy have a 90+% win rate on a back test. That doesn't
Mm,
mean that it's good, and that doesn't mean
mm,
that you're gonna pass accounts or not blow them in the process. Because you can make any of them look good, but and some people will get fixated on, either percent profitable or things like that. And I'm like, you need to know your percent profitable and your I'm drawing a blank here, and your risk to reward at the same time,
mm,
right? Without those two, you can't really tell a whole picture. Either one by
100%.
themselves don't mean anything. So
Exactly. It all starts adding up, but the better the strategy generally will have an equal or lower percentage profitable trades. But again, that doesn't mean anything because it's the risk management in the actual trade
yeah,
that generally makes it a winner or a loser. But yeah, I would love, please do, if you are allowed to share that as secret source, I would love to have a look at that
yeah,
chart
I'll
on the
send it to
website.
you.
I've got a couple more to go through. We've done the Kiros, we've got the Greeks out the way. Now let's get involved with the Japanese, the ninjas. This has been great. This has been great. It has been great up until the last couple days, but again, can't be profitable all the time. So this over the course of March till May, it's had a really good P&L. Tiny little drawdown as well. This is one thing that I've loved about a lot of the strategies over at CE, is that the drawdown is relatively manageable on smaller accounts for a bit of a pussy like me who doesn't like buying the big accounts and slaving away at them for ages. I like small accounts. I like consistent small gains and to supplement with algorithmic trading. A lot of the people that I network with, they are generally manual traders that supplement with algorithmic trading, and just like yourself, Lee. And seeing small wins, at least one or two a day with strategies like this, and a lot of the Kiros and the Secret Labs, it just makes you feel happier to open your automation. You know what I mean? But
You're never gonna see if $8,000 drawdown.
yeah, I'm not one for those sorts of drawdowns, especially trying to recoup it, because I can't leave an account in red at the end of the day. I can't do that. But yeah, relatively good one this week. I mean, over the last 7 days, it struggled a little bit. Hasn't had the best win, but over the course of the month, once this loads, I mean, look at that. Obviously, you're going to have a little bit of slippage, a little bit of delays on TV, but that is the glorious trading view that we all know and love. So that is that's that Ninja on MES that I'm running at the moment. I've been toying around with MGC on Ninja as well, on Vector as well, sorry. And I'm enjoying it a little bit. It doesn't trade very often. But when it does, it comes out with a little chip every now and again. Again, this one's been struggling the last couple of days, but I think that's just down to the macro going on at the moment. It's negative P&L the last 7 days, but again, you look at the 30-day results. Once it loads, it starts adding up. It's a nice one to add to an account that you just want to tip over the edge of an eval, or just make a little bit of cash at the end of the month. One that you've had for a little while, just collecting those prop firm accounts like I like to do. I don't know what on earth that is. Hang on, let me load that one again. So the one I want to talk about, the winner of this week for me, has been this absolute and utter legendary Vector on the CL, on the MCL. Guys, how good is this mofo?
It passed 2 evals for me this week.
Yeah. I'm three quarters of the way through a load of 50k Bullanox on this bad boy in the last couple of weeks on 2 contracts.
That's what I run it on too.
2 contracts. This thing, if you're not running it, pull your finger out, download this bad boy and whack it on a chart. You will not be disappointed. This is just one of those ones that you just got to have in your arsenal. You just got to have it in your arsenal. I don't like saying that as a Tottenham fan, but have it in your back burner. There you go.
That was a British soccer reference for those.
Oh, you said soccer. For shame. For shame.
We're in the US customers here, so
I do apologise for bringing Pommy accents and
football
colloquialisms into the mix, but I am afraid I am a firm believer that the word football associates round balls, not egg-shaped ones. That's rugby. Anyway, moving on.
But importantly, though, on that topic, Sunday morning, or at least morning here, is Manchester United Liverpool. So that's what I'll be watching.
I'm not watching the PL because we're getting relegated. So I'm now a Championship fan. For anyone that doesn't understand that reference, it's the league down because my team is crap.
It's like the Red Sox going into the AAA or minors or whatever it is.
Guys, are there any other setups that we want to talk about? Any other charts that are of note this week?
I had a good week on. I don't even know what setting it was, but one of the Kairos bands had a good week. And I'm not at my computer, so I can't share. But yeah, I think it's just good to stress that there's so many options in the marketplace, and you're not forced to only pick one. There's the beauty comes when you have multiple.
100%. Diversification is definitely the thing that everyone needs to be doing. Spread your risk.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Brad.
I was going to say, I want to share my screen again. The one I was talking about earlier, that's just a simple one that seems to work. And this one, and like, is there a way that, we can put it in the marketplace and release it as something? But this is 1 micro since April 12th.
1 second, Brad. It's just loading.
Wow. What's this one called?
There you go.
I just call it a time-based strategy because it's kind of like I mentioned with like GovGap.
Is this the one we were talking about on Sunday?
Yeah. So it's just very simple, right? I just started again a couple of years ago saying the market is meant to go up. What if you just buy every day when the market opens and hold it till close? And you can test that with this and see. I mean, overall, it's profitable. You're never going to pass a prop account with it. So, but in a cash account or something, you could just let it eat away. And then I was like, well, what if you kind of make different sessions and you decide, because really like the overnight open, London, New York, and then afternoon, they all kind of have their own personality. So I have it broken down into 4 different sessions now. And I just optimized it to find what's the most profitable take profit and stop loss for each one of the sessions. And it'll take a second to calculate. And again, it's nothing amazing over the 3 years, but it's very simple. You can't overfit it. You don't really have to re-optimize it very often. You could probably do it once a year and re-optimize it because the full back test will be over 3 years.
Brad, I
but
think when
it's
we first started talking, you sent this to me.
yeah, I think I did.
Yeah.
Um, and the only trouble with it is, I mean, if you look at this past couple weeks, you could have obviously put a little bit more size on and passed some evals, but it's fairly slow overall. So you're either that's the past 3 years, 25,000 with about 3,000 a drawdown. So again, that's the thing is it's not super fast, but if you know if you have a cash account and you just want to put it on there and let it grind out and know that on average you're going to make 8 grand a year on it without a whole lot of drawdown, then it's not a bad gig. But for I actually have it on a eval now, just going to see how long it takes. But most people don't want to put something like this on an eval that's going to take them 3, 4, 5, 6 months to pass, right? Most people aren't that patient. And so that's the reason why I've never really released it because, like I said, it's very simple and it just works, but it's kind of like a timing thing. If you're playing within the prop firm rules and you take 6 months to pass it, then you take 6 months to get to another threshold to take a payout. Like people aren't that patient, right? And rightfully so. So I think it would be more of a like cash account type thing, where you just put 5 grand in a cash account and just let it run. And you come back,
Or a
every couple of
supplement.
months, check on it and see how it's doing. So
Or you could run it as just purely supplemental, run something else on a
yeah,
different ticker, run this alongside low risk, see, and just run
yep,
it and just grind things out. Like what we've been talking about this the last couple of times I've been on, is that the diversification tactic, even on the same account, if you can manage your drawdown so that your account isn't at risk of blowing, even at the
yeah,
worst of time, even at the worst of times, manage your risk, check what your drawdown is left, check what is, if you're running a static account or a cash account, it's completely different. But if you're running one with trailing drawdown or end of day drawdown, yes, you do need to manage it yourself a little
yeah,
bit. But with something like this, there's absolutely no reason, if you know that it's been consistently profitable over a long period of time, as Brad here has just demonstrated, there's no reason why you can't use this as a supplementary element to what you're
yeah,
doing in your manual or on one of the other strategies with running on different ticker. Just be careful
yeah,
if you do run it on the same ticker that you're not messing around with hedging rules.
yep. That's a good point. Like I said, if somebody's running something else in a funded account, you just want to run it to let it make a little bit more for you. Because this was open, let's see, this was Wednesday night, right? It opened and it just caught a straight long for 100 and what was that? 260 to 140, 150 points or something like that. And I mean, it has some pretty big, and you can see here on this one, this
I
was the
think I
New
took
York
that trade
Open.
manually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The New York Open, it basically came up here and, not top tick, but pretty close to the top before things started to come back down. So that's the beauty with optimizing is you find those levels that typically seem to be where it'll go to. And, I've used this before and it was crazy. Here's another one that almost, sorry, scrolling around a lot, but almost top tick this move before it just started coming back down. So again, it's a fairly simple one. And David and I'll talk about it. Maybe it's something that we can release. I know it's slow and all that kind of stuff. Maybe it's just one of those kind of cheap ones that people can buy to throw on something as supplemental. But I've had it for a while, and I'm like, I'm gonna run it, but then I'm like, no, it's slow. But I finally this week I put it back on something again. And as you could see, the past three, what is that, maybe 4 weeks? I guess 3 weeks. It's just been on fire because the market's just been going straight up,
Yeah.
and that's all. I mean, you have an option to go long or short, but I have all mine set on long because that's the way I originally designed it. But if you want to try to take shorts, you think, hey, lunchtime every day, we normally see a dump, then try to optimize it for shorts and go for that and see if you can find some settings for it. So
I
there's
like
no
it.
other logic to determine what direction. You just decide for yourself, do I want to go long or short at this time?
Well, I personally think that you should unleash the Kraken. Unleash the
Yeah, I might
Kraken.
I might have to. I mean, I'll have to put a disclaimer, or I mean, if people have a trial, they can know that again, it's not something like some of these other strategies that are going to pass a eval for you in a couple of weeks, right? That's not what this one is really intended, unless you just get risky with it, put on a lot of size, and it gets a good winning streak, then you may. But it's really more just to be something kind of slow and steady and just grinds. I think when I looked at averages, $8 per win on a micro, which is not a lot, but it takes 4 trades per day. So you figure on average, of course, you're going to have days and weeks that lose, but on average, it's making you about $30 a day. And I mean, again, it's not a lot, but if you're supplementing that with another strategy that you're running, I don't think most people would complain with an extra $30 a day. So
honestly, buddy, if you put that along the $30 a day average across the rest of the year, I know for a fact that that would beat a lot of algorithms, and it would beat a lot of people's manual trading as well. And imagine how much time that you're sitting there learning and faffing over manual trades. But I've been saying this I say this to all of the people that I meet with on a daily basis, is that slow and small consistent wins add up. They compound, and then you can start taking more risk, because you've got the drawdown, or you've got the levels to really, implement a little bit more risk faithfully. And the aim of the game here, especially with the prop firm game, is riding it out, and especially when you've got consistency rules to navigate, you've got payout rules to navigate and stuff like that. Something like this is the perfect way to get payouts, regardless of how long it takes. Doesn't matter if it takes a few months. The fact is, the matter is that you're getting to the finish line. Anyway, well done, mate. I'd really like to see that on there soon. I was going to do a little bit on trading psychology and how to stay fresh and unleash a few of my rules. It's been a tough market the last few months, and someone like Lee and I were talking about earlier, when you're working with mean reversion and the Renkos on the manual, and you're seeing a different market just appear out of nowhere, that it's really important that you stay loose on the charts, especially when you're manual trading. Obviously, algorithmic trading is as good as the algorithm is programmed, but when you're watching the charts and you're watching and you're trying to optimize your algos that you're running for the day, because a lot of people don't realize is that there's a right algo for the right day and for the right conditions. There's a right variation, there's a right algorithm, and there's a right time and ticker to run things. A lot of people want set and forget. A lot of people want to just buy an algorithm, not understand how it works, just chuck it on and just hope for the best. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of the stuff that has appeared, a lot of stuff that you can download and you can subscribe to on ClearEdge is relatively set and forget, but it can always be better. It can always be better, and that's the name of the game in the market. Especially algorithmic trading, there's some certain rules that I've accumulated over the years that I've been doing this, and I've realized that there isn't just a set and forget, because yes, it can be profitable when you just set it up, just chuck it on and leave it, and just check it every now and again. But it can always be better if you run it on the days that it is going to statistically have the edge and contain and protect the edge that it's got. So the important thing is there's a couple of things here, is know what you're running. Okay, so know what you're running. Lee is talking about doing a webinar on his levels indicator. I think what we should do is have a little expose or a little videos on how each one of the algorithms work, the mechanics behind this, to a certain extent, where we're not giving away the secret sauce. But when the creators are recommending that we run these things, there are certain rules that, as I said, that I will not run anything, whether it be manual trading or algorithms, in certain red folder tier 1 news events, like jolts, like the FOMC, not the minutes. I don't care about the minutes because that's just boring. But the actual the Fed rate data release, jolts, CPI, I will never run. Is there any more that you'll avoid there, Brad?
I think that's the main ones, the
Yeah.
ones that I can think of anyway.
So my recommendation as an algo trader and as a manual trader, I will personally not trade anything on Jolts Day. So next week, was it Tuesday or Wednesday next week? Jolts is Tuesday, 10 o'clock next week. My algos will be turned off. Jolts Day can be an absolute crap show for algorithms. I personally will not do it. You can see some huge swings, and you can get caught up in some delays as well, because there's so much execution going on in the market because of these institutional traders absolutely raping all of us. Sorry for my terminology, but that is what they are doing, because they're crooks. And you can get caught up in that. Algos can have a really bad time in that. Now, there are certain other things where a certain president of a certain United States comes online and starts chucking dummies across the room and talking about how terrible our boats are here in the UK. Thank you for that, by the way, Trump. What did he call them? Toys. How dare you? They're not toys. I've got a rubber ducky in my bath. But there's certain things that will influence in the macro. There's certain things in the geopolitical world that will do it. So what I've got an alert that comes up on my screen every single time that there is a scheduled White House news bulletin or release or whatever you want to call it. Every single time Trump comes online, I get a little alert in my bottom right hand corner, and that to me is a turn everything off event. Do you agree?
Yeah, especially lately, I can agree with it, because you just never know what he's going to say, right? And if it's you don't know if you're going to be on the right or wrong side, because you could get lucky some of those times. Same way with CPI, right? I know people use that to pass eval sometimes, but you're basically taking a gamble, and you have a 50-50 shot, and you can't. But the problem with those kind of moves is, even if you're on the right side of it, that may work out for you that time. But next time, if you're on the wrong side of it, and because the moves are so fast and normally the books are thin during that time, is you'll have so much slippage that you may have a stop loss set that you're going to lose $100, and all of a sudden it's 150, because just the books were thin and slippage by the time it executed. So it's just not really worth the gamble during those times.
Agreed. There's one more that I'm going to chuck in the mix, and tell me if I'm wrong, Brad. I don't like no news Mondays. I don't like them. I personally won't manual trade them, and I've noticed a distinct correlation with losses in my algorithms on no news Mondays because of chop.
Yeah, I was going to say chop, or it can be basically just choppy, really no real big movement, because nothing pushes it. But I haven't looked back at data to see the correlation, but I could see how that could definitely so you're saying no news Mondays, but what if there's some kind of over the weekend news, like especially lately with the war or something like that? Would you trade on those days?
We've got a very good point there. Yes and no. Yes and no. So I had one of my best wins of 2026 on a no news Monday. So I'm a complete and utter imbecile for saying that, but I've had probably statistically, I mean, over the course of my whole trading year, if I look back on it, that big win will not warrant me trading the no news Mondays, because in my opinion, and I will look over this now you've tested my hypothesis, it doesn't, I think I've lost more over the course when I have actually got the itch and started trading and got caught in a load of crappy price action. But it's interesting. It's things like this. It's things like this, like the little rules that you pick up. Those are my rules. Apart from that, there's a couple more. Don't trade hungover or really tired. Test everything for at least a month before you unleash it upon your accounts. If you sustain 3 losses in a row, go take a walk and go touch some grass. Always have a PT and always have an SL. And what else have I got? No, that's it. Go touch some grass. That helps. It really
Yeah.
does.
Yeah,
Get yourself back
it's
in the mood.
yeah, I was just gonna say with you know, that's where everybody kind of has to make their own rules. And you're saying no news Monday, and we've had this conversation on stream a few times where, you know, people might say, "Well, there was a loss on Friday. I'm going to quit trading, or I'm going to turn off Friday on the algo." Well, you can't do that off of one instance, right? You need to
Agreed.
see
Agreed.
a recognizable pattern, and then you can say, "Yeah, this doesn't work." Or maybe if you're even manual trading, not algo trading, if you know that mentally Fridays aren't good for you because maybe you're just tired from the week, or maybe the way price moves on Fridays just doesn't work.
Agreed.
That it ends up being a place. And we one thing for me as well is, you know, we all go on tilt. Even if you're, I mean, I've done it before. You have a strategy that's trading well for you, and it gets you $100 away from passing. You're like, oh, I'll just manual trade and get it the rest of the way, and then you blow the account. And
Yeah.
you just have to sit there and think. There's been times where I'm trading and getting into one of those situations, and I just sit there and I'm like, what am I doing? Like,
What
you
on
know,
earth am I doing? When you have that
yeah,
little birdie on your shoulder go, log off, you're on tilt, and then it's too
yeah,
late. You're already trading 25 micros and you're $2,000 down, and then you walk into your house and call yourself a stupid idiot. I've been
yeah,
there. I've been there. I've done it. It's painful. It's painful, but it's identifying the difference. Like you said a minute ago, it's identifying the difference between your personal weaknesses and the weaknesses of your actual strategy
yeah,
in the market conditions. Now, you can only do that by grinding the data.
yeah,
You can only do that by grinding the data. If it's your personal fault for overtrading or for going on tilt or for just being a bloody idiot, you know, that's something that you have to identify, to correlate, and to avoid at the best of your ability, and that only comes with experience.
yeah.
Mm.
And still, even then, it's hard, right? And that's where, and I don't know exactly what numbers I've said before, but you can go to somebody, you can tell them, because people are like, "Oh, this is a great strategy. I want this strategy." But even if you have automation running from TradingView, right?
Mhm.
And going into ClearEdge, you've still got to keep yourself from manually doing it. Because I've had people set up on strategies before, and all of a sudden they'll, you know, I've mentioned this on stream before, but they'll look at the results on like 1 micro, and
Mhm.
they're like, "Oh, these are great results." But then whenever they go automate it, they put it on 10 micros and blow their account in a day. And I'm like, you 1 micro, you were impressed with the results. So why did you go put it on 10, right? So it's that mental aspect. So to me, at least 75% of trading, whether it be manual or automated, is a mental game,
Mhm.
right? A lot of people think, oh, if I just had a good strategy, I could win and I could be profitable and make money. But that's a small portion of trading. And we all
It
know
really
that
is.
because you know, probably every month I blow a couple accounts just from doing stupid stuff because you just have that mental lapse and
Mhm.
you're like, yeah, I don't know what I was doing. And that's just kind of part of it because you're going to find probably very few people that have the mental fortitude to never make stupid mistakes like that.
Oh my God. If the person is alive, he would be a squillionaire. A
Yeah,
squillionaire. Do you know what I did the other day? Like an absolute and utter wombat. I I left I walked away from my terminal, didn't have a stop loss on,
mm,
walked away from my terminal, made myself a cup of coffee, and realized that I had another order in that doubled my position, and it blew an account that I'd been working on for over a month.
yeah,
I've been doing this for years, and I still make mistakes, like
yeah,
stupid mistakes, but it's limiting as much as possible.
yeah,
That's the aim of the game. You're gonna make mistakes. You're human. You're gonna make mistakes. But the whole point of me talking about some trading rules and some wisdom is that you've just got to find your own rules, stick to them,
yeah,
and grow, evolve, adapt, overcome in the most Bear Grylls fashion. If you don't know who Bear Grylls is, look him up. He's an absolute weapon. Adapt, overcome, evolve, and keep it going, because the market is changing consistently. The market is ever changing. It will always change. That you have to change with it, or you will get sucked in and you will
yeah,
fail. It's as simple as that. So before we sign off, guys, I want to go through our VPS system quickly. Shall we have a quick chat about VPS again?
yeah. Sounds good.
let's share this bad boy again. Oh yeah. Before we move on quickly, those are the red folders to watch out for next week. The Jolts, PMI, and NFP. Well, those ones are my switch off an hour before and an hour afterwards. Jolts, I will not run the whole day. Manual, I may have a whack, but I personally will not be running those days. So let's have a look. So VPS. So this wonderful addition to the ClearEdge platform is coming imminently. I haven't got a clear date, but it is coming imminently. There is a VPS option, a function that will be integrated into the web browser that is on the way. It's going to change. It's changed my whole setup, and I'm absolutely loving it. How's it doing for you, Brad?
Yeah, I enjoy it. They're definitely more responsive than the other ones because basically you go get a VPS, you're getting a general VPS that's, built to do a lot of things fairly well, right? But as I've talked to other people, just as an example here is like the Windows XL one that you have up top, right?
It's
You
the
see that it,
absolute dog's danglers. It works.
yeah.
It works.
Well, you see it has a 30 gigabyte hard drive, right? And for what we're doing for trading, we don't need storage space because we're not storing anything. But if you go buy one that has the power that we're getting for it, it's going to have
Mhm.
120 gig drive or something like that, right? So you're paying for
Yep.
resources that we don't need. So that's the beauty of this is we can build these the way we want them to be. So it's optimized to run really with just the software we run and no other stuff.
Mhm.
And then it comes with ClearEdge preloaded to it. And as we do updates, it's easier for us to get those updates as the preloaded one on there. But the fact that you can just see everything here and you just have it direct all in one place instead of having to go somewhere else, it just makes it really so much easier to use overall.
It really does. It really does. The one thing that we were talking about a couple of times on the last stream as well is that each level of the subscription will have a recommended size of the VPS to utilize best the amount of signals and the amount of agents and the amount of things that are going on in the actual subscription service that you've selected. So each one of these VPSs will be designed and optimized best in the best possible combination to run on the subscription level that you've got for your ClearEdge software. So when you select yourself all of the different tiers of the membership with the different agent levels, you'll have a designated size VPS that we're recommending that you get, so you get the best possible executions. And like Brad was saying a second ago, is that when you have a VPS that is designed specifically, the actual combination of all of the elements and the resources that you have at your disposal, when it's developed and when it's selected for you in the background, you're not overspending on things that you don't need for these global use VPSs that could be used for a number of different things. This is specifically chosen to run this software at the best possible capacity available. And that's the beautiful thing of this, is this all tested previously. And as soon as you hit that button, open browser, it will open. Hopefully mine will open. I had a moment earlier when it didn't, but as soon as you hit that button, it should open now. It will open and all the software is already on there for you. All you've got to do is you transfer your license over to the actual VPS, and then as soon as that's done, reconnect. I'm sorry guys, bear with me. Let me have a look if I can get it on the remote, the Windows
Yeah, I
app.
haven't used the open browser recently, so I think we may need to look at that. But hence the point, we always say
Yeah.
we're going to make sure it's tested thoroughly before we release it. But to the point about
Apologies,
the
foot in my mouth on that one. Apologies. I'll have it ready for the next stream.
but to your point about the a recommended VPS size for whatever package that you are, whether it be 2 agents, 8 agents, all that kind of stuff. But
Mhm.
unlike other VPSs, is here if you got that Windows Small, for example, and you're running it, and I've been running 2 different brokers on that one, and it's been working fine. But
Mhm.
say you decide you're going to run a third broker, And when you put that third broker on, that Windows Small kind of drags a little bit, right?
Mhm.
You can easily just upgrade it to the next level to a
Yep.
Windows Medium, and you don't lose anything, right? All
Mhm.
it does is it reboots itself whenever you upgrade to that medium. It'll take a couple of minutes. It shows
Mhm.
back up. You log back in. Everything's there like you left it. Your brokers are still connected. Your signals are all there just like you left it. You just now have a little bit more processing power on the back end, so you can add that third broker. So it's easy to go up and down. So if you don't know and you want to start on the lower level, see how that performs. So you can easily you can spend as little as you need to. And then if that one doesn't work and you see you need to upgrade, then upgrade at that point. It's a simple
Mhm.
process.
It's very simple. I did mine earlier. I upgraded. We from the Linux one that we're not using at the moment anymore. We're just using the Windows ones, and within 5 minutes it had provisioned over to the Windows XL. I transferred over my license and everything was working then, but I don't know what I did then. I do apologize for that. But one last thing, because I know everyone's conscious and they want to get off. But there's lots coming to the marketplace. Obviously, we talked about Smooth's levels and pivots indicator coming up. We've got the Keros VWAP and we've got the Cypher algorithms coming in there soon. Anyone that's got anything they're sitting on, any things, any algorithms that they're sitting on, they're producing themselves, get in contact. Get in contact. We've got, if they work, of course, we might need to have a look, because we're not going to put any old tat on the marketplace. But get in contact, see if we've got something that we can sell on the marketplace. It would be great to have some people's creations, because I know people are working in the background. I just want to share last thing with you guys before we go. Have a look on the ClearEdge website for your prop firm deals. There are tons and tons and tons of codes. People are not using them, and you can get money off all the time. There's tons of the ones that we recommend here. Lots and lots of them. Have a look on the website. Have a look at the codes. Use them to try and get the best deals, because at the end of the day, prop firms are the enemy. We want to take money from them. If you can get a discount from them, do it. Do it.
Yep,
Right.
I agree. We're on the real quick. It's not updated on there, but the Apex. I know a lot of people hate them, but if you do use Apex, they actually are 90% off right now for another 4-ish days.
Mm-hmm.
So the discount's a little bit more right there. And on the marketplace, just a couple that you were talking about is that I believe we're looking at one in the marketplace for sure from a ClearEdge member, and then we're also looking at the I think the Ghost Eye ones to look at possibly adding those in. So there
Rapid
could be
fire and ghost
another.
trends.
Yep. So there
Mm.
could be here in the next couple of weeks, or it could be another, 4 to 6 different strategies coming in. But like Alfred said, if you have one, let us know. We'll normally get access to it, test it, and
Mhm.
we're not necessarily saying that when we're testing it, we got to make $1,000 a week on it. The main thing is making sure it's not repainting, things are executing right, and
Yeah.
it's just funky stuff's not happening in it. But we just want to make sure that things look pretty tight and working
Mhm.
fairly well for a couple of weeks before it actually gets released. So
Yeah, we want to make sure that everything is above board with ClearEdge. We don't want to put any old tat on there. So we will test it and abuse it a little bit and see what it can do before we can put it out on there. But we are really interested in seeing what you guys are working on and seeing if we can work together. So do get in contact. I
Yep.
think I'm going to cut this one off now, and I'm going to go get some sleep because it is midnight in the UK. But it's been an absolute pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, do get in contact. But we wish you a good week ahead, and we'll see you again on Sunday.
Yep. Have a good weekend.